Welcome here this morning to the Courtyard Marriott for what is certainly going to be an exciting launch, especially for the members of Caribbean Home Health. To give you a brief outline of Caribbean Home Health, they're a fully outfitted service in the in-home care of the elderly. The team members, they work assiduously to ensure that the clients' daily and long-term needs are taken care of, so that primary caregivers can continue to meet professional demands of the job. At this time, I would like to acknowledge both the Barbadian and the Trinidadian teams, because yes, this is a regional outfit. And now we meet Team Trinidad.
Welcome to Caribbean Home Health Trinidad. I am Candice. I am one of the registered nurses at this institution. I am in charge of health and safety and soon to be in charge of our palliative care system.
Welcome to Caribbean Home Health Trinidad. My name is Rochelle Phillip. I am the logistics manager. What is Caribbean Home Health Trinidad? Caribbean Home Health Trinidad is an all-round agency that provides services from caring for the elderly, babysitting, transportation, housekeeping, and maintenance in and around the home, just to name a few.
Sometimes the best people to hear from are the people who utilize the services. We are going to meet these two individuals now, Jason and Mia.
My name is Jason, and this is Mia, my girlfriend, and we are currently living in Bermuda. And we first came across Caribbean Home Health while doing some research looking for help for family at home.
And we are all right, so that was a taste of what happened. Trust me, we're going to have to work on how we can share a bit more of it with you, but definitely very, very informative. So let me go ahead and welcome founder and CEO of Caribbean Home Health back to the Morning Barbados seats. Paul Marshall, good morning, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning, Tisha.
Good morning. You've brought along Dr. Michael Bellamy, who's a general practice physician. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you.
All right, coming out of that review of what happened at the launch, talk to me about what the aim really was in sharing now your services with the general public.
Yes. During our time, we've been getting a lot of feedback from clients regarding what they would like to see us do, which is to essentially help them have all the tools necessary to age gracefully. So we wanted to be able to share that, and by creating the In-Home Concierge Service was basically kind of bolting on to what we already had established. So one of the key things we wanted to do was incorporate a couple new things that essentially will make people's lives safer. So health and safety monitoring. Because we found that with our dementia patients, there are some cases where they leave the stove on and it becomes a risk to them. So we wanted to be in a position to be able to detect that and be able to step in and basically either save lives or keep people from harm. In addition to that, we wanted to also kind of solve some of the issues that are publicly known of dementia patients wandering off, and we implemented our monitoring service. So that actually tracks the individual and allows us to be able to bring them home safely. So it's quite wide, the services that we offer, but we wanted to be able to highlight the key things that will make lives and keep people safe.
That's most important. I know that there are still some people who hear the term dementia, but they're not absolutely sure what it is. So Dr. Bellamy, can you share for us what it is, what it means to have dementia?
Okay, so dementia is an umbrella term which refers to a group of diseases which are characterized by a decline in cognitive function, including language, short-term memory, and reasoning abilities, the most common of which would be Alzheimer's disease, but there are other types including Lewy body and vascular dementia, as well as mixed dementia.
All right, and are we seeing a higher prevalence of dementia-related issues with older people in Barbados, or is it in step with what's been happening through the years?
I would say we definitely have an increase, and we have close to about 4,500 persons reported in Barbados to be living with dementia, but we believe this is grossly underrepresented as well, because not everybody's going to come forward and discuss it with their doctors what's going on because of the stigma attached to dementia right now.
Let's talk about that stigma.
Yes.
And this is where Caribbean Home Help really comes in, because they're offering this geo-tracking. So, you know, people often have to go away from home, and they leave their elderly parents. Not that you want to do it, and sometimes you don't even recognize that there's the early onset of dementia. As I understand it, there might be lapses where, as you have the decline in cognitive function, you may have people being coherent and speaking to you normally, and then have lapses at certain points throughout the day. So if this happens, we've been seeing more and more in the news that, you know, some elderly person, as we would say in Bajan parlance, has walked away from home.
Yes.
And unfortunately, a few of the times they've not been found, or they were found dead. And I think that is the worst news that any child can have, because there's no closure if your parent walks away from home and you're never able to find them. So because now Caribbean Home Help is offering this opportunity for you to have this device to be able to figure out where your parent is or whomever is at any point in time throughout the day, it offers that comfort, that peace of mind that people will need. I'm sure you'd agree, Paul.
Yes, and it also provides independence for that individual in the early stages of dementia. That gives them and the family that peace of mind, as you indicated, to leave that individual at particular times of the day and know that you'll be able to find them. So it is a very important part of our suite of services that we will be included for dementia patients, and it doesn't have to be just dementia patients, but persons that you just want to make sure that you can keep a track of.
Dr. Bellamy, let's talk now about the challenges that we experience with people with dementia. And this umbrella term, I must tell you that for some reason, I thought dementia was a thing in and of itself. I mean, this even shows that we need to do a little more research on what's happening, because somehow people talk about dementia and Alzheimer's as though they're two completely different things. But what you've said this morning is dementia is kind of, you know, an overarching term to refer to a few conditions that older people can be experiencing. So, you know, that's a little different for me. But, you know, what are some of the challenges that people who are facing cognitive decline can experience?
Okay, so as we mentioned, language. So sometimes there are needs that the person would have that they can't really express to the relatives, which presents a lot of challenges for communication among the family members. Then you have, in terms of nutrition, sometimes they're not getting their adequate amount of daily calories or a varied diet and so on. So that's another challenge. And then, as Paul mentioned, wandering, not knowing where they are, not recognizing their neighborhood, not recognizing their relatives. So there are a number of things that persons are challenged with, and the family members have to try and educate themselves. And Caribbean Home Help is here to help you along with the process of that, because it can be very lonely when you're dealing with it in terms of having a relative who you love, and this person is now suddenly changing. And how can you really address these problems for them and help them along the way? So that's what we're aiming to help these persons with.
I'm really happy to hear that in this area, Caribbean Home Help, you've not only shown up and said, I am offering you help in a certain area of care, but you're offering a rounded package. So here we are with a doctor who is associated with Caribbean Home Help, who can share relevant information. And then, of course, Dr. Bellamy made reference to nutrition. So I know in terms of the services you offer, then, of course, you can help in those areas too.
Yes.
The correct nutrition. So you're getting customized service depending on the person, because I'm sure Dr. Bellamy will tell us as we move from person to person, it varies what they need. based
Correct.
on the individual.
This is correct.
And I think that's what you bring to the table, and that's what makes all the difference.
Yes.
Yes?
Agreed. And also identifying this early, because we do dementia screening. Because once you can start to identify the issue, you can start creating solutions. And we believe that at this particular junction, with Barbados not really understanding the disease as it is, and those individuals feeling socially isolated, we need to be in a position to step up, learn, and be able to put certain things in place for people who are going through a horror story.
I think aging gracefully, aging happily has a lot to do with quality of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
And
much so.
to enjoy a good quality of life, I think we need to be able to offer some help to our aging relatives who are experiencing this level of cognitive decline to the point where, you know, they're losing their memory or wandering or whatever. So what are some of the ways, Dr. Bellamy, that we can work to help our relatives with who might be experiencing dementia?
Okay, so Caribbean Home Help would offer a package in terms of at-home services, delivering meals, having menus and so on available, having nursing on call, having doctors on call and so on, so that we can help relatives through the process and help the relatives to deal with the person who's currently suffering from dementia. So we have a wide range of services, and we personalize everything. So,
and I think I recall from the press conference that you talked about even offering a smoke detection service.
Yes. So as it relates to, it's actually a monitoring service that if they detect smoke, they can actually have a conversation with the person to encourage them to turn the stove off. And if we are not satisfied, we can contact the authorities to actually go to the home to see if the person is okay, or in case of a fire, extinguish that fire.
Yeah, that's a wonderful initiative, especially in recent times. We've been hearing so much about fires,
yes.
and there have been instances, unfortunately, where the elderly have been involved. I want to delve a little deeper into this geo-tracking device.
Yes.
What form does it take? How does it work? Talk to us about the functionality.
So currently it's like a necklace, but it can be worn around the arm, and essentially it's working off the cellular network. And if that person leaves the household and we are looking for that individual, the network center who is monitoring will be able to pinpoint where that individual is. And again, this is all monitored. They can call the authorities and inform the person or just the family. We can set rules that are customized to make sure that we deliver the right service for that individual.
All right. You know, you can reach out to Caribbean Home Help at 629-4251. Their website is caribbeanhomehelp.com, or you can email csr@caribbeanhomehelp.com for more information. We, of course, will share that on screen with you so that you can get into it. And you need not jump all the way in, because I know when it comes to parents, when it comes to the people that you love, you want to make sure you're making good decisions for them.
Yeah.
You want the right people to be there for them. So it could just be some exploratory questions, but you definitely should call. You definitely should reach out if you're experiencing challenges, or you feel like you need some help, or you just have some questions that you need answered.
Correct.
And the good people at Caribbean Home Help definitely will come on board to help you in whatever areas that you need. Now, as we get ready to wrap up, Dr. Bellamy, what advice would you give to, you know, any family members out there who are kind of apprehensive about reaching out? Because we know culture can be a great deterrent. Yes, so I mean, culturally, I feel like we still frown on people who have to, you know, get care for their parents.
Right.
So the wonderful thing about Caribbean Home Help is they're getting in-home care. They're getting the care where they're most comfortable.
correct.
Yeah, so what advice would you have for them in terms of how they should approaching Caribbean Home Help?
Well, I would just advise everyone not to be at all trepidated or not to feel uncomfortable. We're here to help you in any personalized way that we can. We're very caring, we're very warm, and Paul has been through this already with his dad years ago, so he knows exactly the challenges, and he knows exactly how it can be. It can be scary, right? But we're here to, you know, really help you out, and really and truly just give us a call, and we're here to assist you through every step of the way. So nothing to be ashamed or scared of.
I think what you're doing, Paul, is not new in the world, but is revolutionary here in Barbados. Being able to have that peace of mind, certainly with the geo-tracking, with the all-round, the 360 service, I like to call it. Just offering just about anything, and I love that you make the services customizable as well.
Yes.
So it's an individual service that you're tailoring for an individual's need so that they're comfortable in their home.
Yes.
True to the name, Caribbean Home Help. Thank you as always for coming in
Thank
and
you.
sharing with us. And we most certainly will continue to share with you what's happening with Caribbean Home Help. All you need to do is dial that number 629-4251, website caribbeanhomehelp.com. And I know we have some elderly viewers who are locked on to Morning Barbados as well. You might be recognizing that you might need a little help around the house as well. So it might not be that you have that major cognitive decline that we're talking about, or a child or relative is looking after you, and all of a sudden you can't get out to mow the lawn yourself. You need a little help with preparing meals. You need a little advice on apping up the nutrition. You might need someone to accompany you to the doctor or what have you. All of these are services that are offered by Caribbean Home Help. So the only thing left for you to do is give them a call.